Welcome, dear ones, to another Thursdays with RamDev, and today I would like to talk about stabilizing the view that we are whole, that there is one consciousness, one God, if you will. And this is important because it's what we die into. So that to the extent when we're alive, we can practice being in the view, stabilizing it when we're talking, when we're interacting, when we're moving about. It's the best preparation for dying. At the same time, we can't just dive into the view because it's essentially ego death. First devotion, first juice is devotion. Second juice is compassion. And then when the heart is open through compassion, then this leap into stabilizing the view of resting in oneness is not such a big leap. So in stabilizing the view, we're essentially letting go of the subject rather than letting go of the object. We're letting go of who is seeing the seen object, so that there's a seer seeing the seen. We let go of the seer, we let go of grasping at this what's seen. All that's left is seeing. All that's left is this empty process, lots of space, no grasping. And it's not, I'm not saying this is a super difficult thing or a very advanced practice. It's just being clear and normal, resting simply and easily. Confusion arises because we identify and believe discursive thought. When we rest in the view, we see the nature of things. We see that, in fact, there is this wholeness, there is this oneness. So is it possible then that we can begin to disconnect from discursive thought by seeing the nature of things? When we don't see the nature of things, we tend to identify, we tend to get confused by discursive thought. We identify with what we're thinking. I'm thinking this is real, I've got to deal with this. Can we trust in God rather than trying to figure it out, as Maharaji said in such a beautiful way? So letting go of the subject, just being present right now, hearing. So just imagine right now as a brief exercise, just begin to start paying attention to your breath. You don't have to close your eyes, particularly if you're driving. Not a good idea. Begin to pay attention to your breath and notice at the very end of the out-breath that the I disappears. You let go into spaciousness. You let go of all thought for just an instant. When the in-breath arises, come back to watching the mind, not getting caught in content of mind, but just the thinking process itself. On the out-breath, surrender into that moment of spaciousness right at the end of the out-breath. You do that for a few minutes, and then at the very end, just rest in spaciousness, not worrying about the breath anymore. But this moment at the very end of the out-breath reveals the spacious nature of the mind in many cases. Resting in the view that we are one, that we are whole, that we die into our true nature, that a devotional heart, a compassionate heart will support this surrender into wholeness. Thank you so much.